guys, you've probably heard it 100 times, right? The just post and they'll end up paying. But here's the truth. Subscriptions will not make you rich. Most creators, well, they make less than $500 a month, and that's because they rely solely on the subs, and they're ignoring the one thing that's actually printing out their money. I'm talking about chatting here, and I'm not talking about the sending one-word phrases or sending out mass messages. I'm talking about real conversations that lead to that income of $50 to $100 or even $500 from a single subscriber. And in this video, I'm gonna break it down step by step so you can do it too. The reality here is subscriptions are not gonna pay your bills. Most creators charge anywhere between $5 to $15 a month, and even with 100 of subscribers, they're barely scratching the surface. So you might make a couple grand, but it's gonna stop there. And if you're not chatting, well, that's where your income really starts to cap out. What actually moves the income needle is PPV and tips through your conversations. That's where the real money is. A single subscriber might only have to pay $10 to get into the door, but with the right chat strategy, that same person could spend $100, $300, or even more, and they're gonna do it gladly, not because of what you're sending, but how you send it. If you're relying on passive income from your subscriptions, well, then you're stuck in that slow lane. Chatting is the engine behind a 5-figure month, and today I'm gonna show you how to tap into it. So let's talk about the biggest mistake that creators are making, and this is your mass PPVs. So you type one message, you attach a clip, and blast it off to every sub on your list. Sounds efficient? It's not. In fact, it's one of the easiest ways to lose money without even realizing it, and here's why. When a subscriber gets a generic message like that with no name, no context, no emotion, no connection, it screams copy paste. They know that it wasn't for them, and it feels mass produced. When it feels like that, it loses value instantly. So you might get a few bites, sure, but what about the 90% of people who looked at it and completely ignored it? Those people could have spent real money with you if you took a personal approach with them. People don't pay for videos, they're paying for attention. They want to feel like you're talking to them and only them, not all your other subs. So when you ditch the generic blasts and actually start chatting with connection, your income changes overnight. Every sub becomes a potential high-ticket customer. So now that we've cleared up why mass messaging doesn't work, let's talk about what actually does. And this is the art of personalized chatting. This is where the real money happens, because it's not about pushing out content, it's about pulling somebody into a conversation that they don't want to leave. So why real chat beats fast sales? If someone subscribes to your page, that means they're already interested in you. But if you hit them with a price tag right away, well, you're killing the mood. Think about it like dating. You wouldn't want to ask someone to marry you right after the first, hey, what's up? You want to warm them up, get playful, and create that tension. And that's exactly how chatting should work. Another thing you want to do is tease first and sell later. You want to start with small talk. Hey cutie, what are you up to tonight? Or just got home, still thinking about our last conversation. Keep it light and send a free picture or a tease without selling anything. Make them feel like this chat is just for them. That feeling of being seen and being wanted is what makes them stay in. After warming things up a little bit, slowly introduce your PPV. You want to make it feel natural, like it was part of the moment. Something like, so would you want to see what I'm wearing? I'll show you if you're good, because you're not just selling a clip, you're building an experience. From here, then you sell the feeling, not the file. OnlyFans is not about sex, y'all. It's about experience. You're selling that feeling of being wanted, desired, and connected. Porn is free everywhere else, but what fans pay for here is emotional intimacy. Someone who makes them feel special and seen. So when you learn to master that, the sales are gonna come easy and they're gonna come often. So the next thing I wanna talk to you about is the importance of having a great script system. So having a chat script is more than just having a few flirty lines on hand. What it is an actual full experience. It's a setup that builds tension, creates desire, and delivers content in a way that makes each message feel like a reward. So here are the steps that you need to take. So step 1 is the warm-up phase. Start with free messaging. Ask simple, open-ended questions. Throw in a photo that matches your vibe. Something casual, but yet suggestive. So here we're setting the mood and we're not selling it. So step 2 is the light tasing phase. So after a few replies back and forth, you want to build some curiosity. So say something like, are you sure you're ready for what I have in mind? And add a low-priced PPV. Maybe between $15 to $25. The most important part in this step is to keep it playful. So step 3 is the escalation phase. This is where they're really engaged and you want to keep them going. So each PPV should be a little more intense and a little bit more spicy. Maybe $40 and then the next $70. But every single message should feel like it's building towards something. So step 4 is the finale. So now that you've got them hooked, this is your $100 plus moment. Make the payoff feel personal, not transactional. Let it feel like it was a shared moment. And the best part, part is one great script like this can be reused for every single new sub. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just need to play the game right. So let's talk numbers now, because chatting isn't flirting, it's business. If a subscriber pays you $10 to get in and you only make $10 off of them, well then you're pretty much breaking even. But with the right chat strategy in place, that same $10 sub can turn into $100, $200, or even $500 in sales. That's what we call a chat ratio. A 10-to-1 ratio means that you're making $100 from a $10 sub. Some agencies hit a 50-to-1 ratio, and it's not luck, it's structure. The creators who hit those numbers, they aren't chasing tips or waiting for some random customer to come in. They're running systems, scripts, and sequences that work again and again. This is what separates the top 1%ers from the rest of them. You can't rely on fans just tipping or asking for something special. That's insane because it's unpredictable. Structured chatting is scalable. You know what to say, when to say it, and how to keep them coming back. So if you start thinking like a business owner and not a casual chatter, well then you'll stop leaving money on the table and start multiplying every single sub's value. So I want to take a second to talk about some mistakes to avoid. Chances are, if you're not making consistent sales, you're probably rushing it. One of the biggest mistakes creators make is trying to sell too fast. You drop a price tag before there's any connection between you and a sub, and then all of a sudden that sub disappears. Why? Because they didn't feel anything with you. That emotional buildup is not optional. It's the foundation of your success. People don't pay for clips, they pay for that feeling they're getting in that conversation leading up to receiving it. Another mistake people make is overpromising or sending the same content to every single sub. If someone feels like they're getting what everyone else got, well, that value is going to drop fast. Your content should feel custom, even if it's not, and that's why the smart scripting is so handy. And don't forget, timing is everything. If someone says no, it doesn't mean never, so space it out and let things breathe a little bit. A follow-up message a few days later often lands better than if you were trying to push hard right away. The more you treat chatting like a long game and not a quick sale, the more you'll earn from every single sub. If chatting feels confusing or your subs just aren't buying like they should, well, you're not alone, because most creators don't get taught that side of the game. But once you start to understand how to guide a conversation, everything changes. And you don't need to figure it out by trial and error, because we here at the Bunny Agency have helped creators build systems that work day in and day out. So if you want help or just have a question, drop a comment or check the link below. And we're here to make chatting easier and way more profitable just for you.